Hey there, I'm Alex, one of the founders of Kaards.io, and I want to just really quickly show you through our platform. So let's go ahead and log in. So basically what Cards is a flashcard learning tool for a bunch of different languages. So here I have four that I'm studying right now: Spanish, Galician, Italian, and Catalan. I'm not actually studying them, but I would really, really like to study Galician and Catalan in the future. And they're two languages that are Catalan less so, but Galician is very under-resourced. So one cool thing about Cards is that it supports lots of languages that otherwise don't have so many resources. So if you're learning like Afrikaans or Nepali or a bunch of these languages, Cards is a really cool tool, and I'll show you some of the features that it has that makes it so useful. So to start, we can import an Anki deck. I'm just going to import this one for Spanish, 1,000 high intermediate Spanish words and sentences. We could add a description, probably don't need to in this case. Here we can select the fields we want. Sometimes there are extra fields in Anki, but in this case we want all of them. So 2 is A. Next, just mapping to the correct languages. We finish the import, and here we have it. It's added to our available decks, which are other Anki decks imported by people and some decks made by us for certain languages. So we can go ahead and study this. We can see the first word here. Basically, in this screen, you're using spaced repetition to basically be served the word right as you're about to forget it. So we can see here, to advise, we flip the card, aconsejar. If we look at example sentences, we see some example sentences from our API. So basically conjugations of aconsejar, and oftentimes other words that are related, like in this case, maybe consejo, which is the advice, would show up in these example sentences. So this works with custom decks. Anki decks will basically try to return sentences that are related to this word so you can learn in context. I think you can't hear it in the recording, but we also have text-to-speech, and we also have text-to-speech in a bunch of different accents. So if you're learning specifically Argentinian Spanish, you can choose to hear text-to-speech in Argentinian Spanish. But yeah, so that's one way you can make decks, importing Anki decks. We can also create custom decks. So maybe we just call it My Vacation to Barcelona. We can choose the language pair that we want to do. So if we want to stack languages, we can do German to Spanish, maybe, if we're learning both of them and want to kind of combine our learning in the two at once. So say we want to learn the word for food. We can do das Essen, which is the food in German, in Spanish, la comida. Add another card maybe, like um, we can also do it in reverse. So la casa, the house, in German is das Haus. We can search for cards. We can also generate cards using AI. This takes about 30 seconds for it to generate the words, so I won't actually do it. But what you would do is say, like, what do we want to learn? I'm going on vacation to Barcelona. Please give some useful words. And then we could say some examples, like maybe apartment, maybe like the church, the airport, and basically it'll take 30 seconds to a minute for it to generate about 20 cards. But then we can generate about 20 cards at a time based on a topic and kind of build out our custom decks really, really quickly with that. But just to keep this video short, I won't do that now. So I think we actually never flipped a card here before, but if we flip about, we get a acerca we can say correct. And then in our word list, we can see all of the words that either we've learned or are going to learn. So these we've obviously never seen, so 0 strength on them. This is the one that we just saw and just flipped, and it's perfect strength because we saw it for the first time ever and already knew it, so obviously we know it. We can also look at our progress and see that today I learned 1 word, and that's better than my average of 0 words, where I am in the leaderboard, and then days that I was active studying. So yeah, this is Cards. Definitely check it out if you're interested, especially if you're learning any of these more niche languages, because that's where Cards really shines. So yeah, text-to-speech, example sentences from an API, support for over 70 languages, automatic text translation, and AI-generated decks and Anki imports is basically what Cards is all about. So enjoy. Happy learning.